Okay, hopefully second film of the day. Hope this works out. Just shot a film on Scott Williams stuff, and it went through my mind. There's one or two other things I've got. It'll be damned rude, bloody rude, if I don't mention these guys as well, because I've always meant to. I've just had so many technical problems and health issues that I just haven't managed. But I'm going to. This is a bit of a shout out for Dell Webber, British knife maker, dirty room knives, then Red Path knives, which this one was made under that banner, and now Webber. Now this is amazing. I got talking to Dell because I loved some of his blade profiles, but I am a huge fan of traditional woods, handles and things, and I basically was asking him, any chance of you getting into some more bushcrafty type blades, type knives? And his response was funny you should say that, because he was so far ahead of the game, it was ridiculous. And he started showing me pictures of something like this. My response was, want one. Straight away, no messing, want one. Discussed with him very quickly, within probably the next day, I can't remember, ended up placing an order for this. His tracker, which is ridiculously competent. It is just such a solid blade. I'm arthritic as crap. I told him that, and he basically put a handle on it that a ruptured orangutan would be able to deal with all right. I mean, I'm not a little guy. I'm 6'3", bit scrunched up, but still 6'3" if you stretch me out. I'm solid as hell. I'm a fat lad. And this knife just fits. Put a glove on, just fits. The blade, you can see the thickness of the stock. I'm not sure what it is actually, but I'd say that's going to be maybe 5mm. 5mm. Not sure. He did it with the mosaics, he did it with Amboina burl, and I know he had a problem with the first handle he prepped for it, that he found cracks in it or splits in it once he got into sanding it down. So he replaced that. Didn't charge him anything for it. This guy, you know, this group of knife makers are unbelievable in the pride and the pleasure they put into their blades. And that equates to a level of pride and pleasure that they, almost as if they seek to hand over to you as part of the purchase. They're not cheap. I'm not going to pretend they're cheap. Again, I'm not getting into prices, because these guys, cost effectiveness might take a right thrashing with this insanity with the pound that we have. But if their prices go up, ask me, are they worth it? Yes, they're worth it. Dell, like I just did a film on Scott, absolutely worth it. No question about it. This knife is beautiful. Even just the extra finish with the two-tone on the blade. He calls it his, like a great white shark. The dark top and the lower underneath, the belly. It's a beautiful effect. Shape of the handle, perfect. Stick a lanyard on that, and you've got such a heft in the chop, it's unreal. You've also got this thing, Dell refers to it as poom, which I believe is an abbreviation for harpoon style tip to the blade. If you look at Ottoman, some Mongol historical blades, like some of the yatagans and some of the kilij, or kijil, and some of the what's the other name I have? Some of the samshirs, that kind of blade, they have this raised portion near the tip, and I believe it's called a yarman. I'm not sure, and that is to give it extra depth, extra heft, extra hit, extra power. It gives the blade more flow. It gives it more travel. It also has a slight effect as if the blade was curved along, canted along the top, which Dell pointed out to me yesterday is actually called the rake. when there's a curve on the blade. Beautiful knife, an absolute pleasure to own. I had it in a Kydex sheath for two reasons. One, I was a bit skint at the time. Two, Dell has got a bit more track for tactical gear, so I still wanted a bit of a reference for tactical, but at some point I'm going to get it pimped out, and I am going to give it a leather sheath to live in as well. Now, something else I got from him was this, which is just another example of variation in his work. Now, some people would say, well, there's not a lot of difference. Not a lot of difference. But to me, there is. I see a lot of difference in the knife. I mean, this is moving more towards... It's got similar contours and geometry to the kind of knives historically you find up on the Hindu Kush, heading up towards Afghanistan and into those areas, where you have the longer, thinner, tapering down to a point, Pathan type blades. And I love that, even if it's unintended, I love that historical reference. This came in a standard type leather sheath. What can I say? Great package, absolutely love it. And I also believe it was a prototype. It was the one that Dell decided not to continue with. The Fire Steel, it's a Mr. Scooty Fire Steel, that I believe. Again, another maker, extremely skilled. That is, if that comes out of the sheath, it's because you've been hit with a howitzer round, 155mm probably, or something like that. Again, absolutely amazing British knife maker. I love supporting British knife makers. Thank you, Dell. Love your work, and hopefully I'll be back for more.